There comes a time when somebody who's a true yogi understands that my greatest prophet is you, O Divine. The one who really understands it, that other than me, there is nothing else to be attained. Other than me, there is no other God. And that I am his or her capital. I am their net worth. Such a person, then, it doesn't matter what kind of pain and sorrow they are under, their faith remains unshakable. When Uddhav attained that wisdom, when he realized who Krishna was, he went to Krishna after he also got a taste of devotion, bhakti. Krishna said to him, now you must go and do your sadhana. But why? He said. What's the need now? Krishna said, because now is the time when you are actually ready. Because your priority is now straightened. You now know who you are connected with. And therefore, if you meditate now, it's going to be a lot more effective. A while back, maybe a couple of years ago, I read this very beautiful story. There was a father and a son. And that son's mother died long time back. And the son had to go for military duty. He had to go serve, go fight for his country. And his father and him, he grew up with his father appreciating various artists. They had a huge collection of some very expensive paintings. It's a beautiful story. At least it really touched my heart when I read it. So from Monet, Rembrandt, and Van Gogh, and what have you, different collection of very, exclusive paintings, each worth basically priceless. And his father said, okay, my son, you have to go. But in your absence, every day I will sit in our study, I'll sit in this room, I'll look at these paintings and I will think of you. And his son said, Dad, I'm going to be back as soon as my duty is over, a couple of years. His father says, okay. But those were the days of the Vietnam War in the States. So he had to go for the war. And there, once they were ambushed. And while trying to save one of his fellow soldiers, this son, this young man, got shot. And he died in the process. And when they informed his father, obviously he was totally heartbroken. A couple of years passed by, and one day he gets a knock on his door. And there is a soldier there. One of his legs was amputated. He knocks on the door. The father opens the door. He says, sorry, you don't know me, but I know you. Your son died saving me. So every day in the past 2 years, I didn't know how to face you, how to tell you that I am alive today because of your son, because you would then miss your son tremendously. The memories of his would come rushing back. But I've brought a small gift for you. I've made it myself. And the father says, okay, let me see what this gift is. And he opens, it's a beautiful portrait, a painting of his son that this soldier painted. And he said, I knew from him that you are a great lover of art, you're a connoisseur of artwork, and I painted it myself for you. This is how your son looked when he was in his uniform. And the father starts to cry. He says, thank you very much. This is one of the best things I could have ever received. And he keeps the painting with him. Some more years pass. And one day, the old man dies. When he dies, it is decided that all the paintings, the artwork he owned will be auctioned. So the auctioneer, the person who was in charge of the estate, he starts the auction. And he says, first on sale is this painting, the portrait of his son. So who wants to bid for this? Nobody steps forward. And people who had paid deposit to be in that auction and so on, they start to get little grumpy and cranky. They say, look, we can do this painting later. We haven't come here to buy this painting of his son. We have come here to buy the painters of the classical era, the impressionists and so on. This we can get on later. But the auctioneer said, no, this painting has to go first. So he said, who's going to bid? And the rich people there said, look, this is ridiculous. We have come here. We are not interested in this painting. Nobody's bidding. Why don't you put it away? He said, not even $10, $20. And then one man who had been their gardener for so long, who was their gardener of this old man, he said, I'll bid. I'll bid for this painting. But I can only afford $20. He says, okay, and people are happy, fine, this is out of the way. Now we'll get on with the real auction. So $20 one, $20 two, $20 three. The painting goes to this old man. So the gardener walks there, takes the painting, and now everybody in the audience says, okay, let's get on with the real auction now. He said, there is nothing more to be auctioned. Because the old man had written it in his will that only one painting is to be auctioned, and that is the painting of my son. Whoever gets the son gets everything. And this painting, this story, I read in a very beautiful Christian book that some 2,000 years ago, somebody gave up her son for the world. And whoever gets the son gets everything. It referred to Jesus Christ, of course. That whoever makes him as his savior or the center point of his life gets everything. And that's what somewhere Krishna means when he says in this very chapter that we just read, Yam labdva cha param labham manyatena adhikam tata. Yam labdva cha param labham manyatena adhikam tata yasminasto na dukhen guru napi vichalyate. There comes a time when somebody who's a true yogi understands that my greatest profit is you, O divine. The one who really understands it, that other than me, there is nothing else to be attained. Other than me, there is no other God. And that I am his or her capital. I am their net worth. Such a person then It doesn't matter what kind of pain and sorrow they are under, their faith remains unshakable. That's what he means. Guru napi vichalyate. Guru is like heavy. Even in the middle of when the ship of life is being tossed about by the choppy seas, the waves of circumstances and situations, such person's faith remains unshakable. To me, Krishna says, such person is a true yogi.